Uber says that 24% of drivers are over the age of 50. Let's talk about the takeaways that point us away from those preconceived notions.
Yeah, I think it's a very common misconception, actually, that the gig workers, particularly in the U.S., are Gen X or millennials. But actually, maybe let's take a step back for a moment and look at some of the more macro statistics around U.S. According to Gallup.org, about 36% of Americans, so roughly 56 million, actually identify as participating in non-traditional work, and that could be gig and hourly and 1099. Among that, actually 43 million actually have identified that type of work as creating a full-time job. So they're creating a portfolio of opportunities. Now, just keep in mind for context, 70% of US Americans today are living paycheck to paycheck. The income volatility is incredibly high. This opportunity to augment income, to use more flexible work opportunities to augment, to kind of create a smoothing mechanism is essential. And it's a critical part, actually, of what's driven a lot of the adoption within gig workers. Interestingly, actually, about our traditional notion of the gig platform, so, the Ubers and Lyfts, DoorDash, et cetera, only represent about 10% of that activity. So there's a broad array of what we characterize as kind of gig work available to Americans today. When you look at the Gig Economy Data Hub, which is kind of a collaborative between the Aspen Institute's Future of Work, and Cornell's industrial and labor relations work, they actually did a study specifically on the demographics of the gig work community. They found about 27% fall between the ages of 16 to 25, 23% between 35 and 45, between 26 and 35, 23% between 35 and 45, and 34% actually over the age of 46 years old. So it just gives you a sense, over a third or over 46 in age. You just get a sense of the breadth and depth of what this gig worker base is like, and what types of services that need to be addressed given the breadth of the demographic.